It's always a pleasure to meet you. Welcome to the Archaeology Guild. My name is Steve. I'm the resident gemologist. I'm also responsible for admitting new recruits. The Archaeology Guild is a peaceful institution dedicated to unearthing the ancient mysteries of Tamriel. The Kokayeri? That's just one of the relics we've unearthed. You'll find many such artifacts around here. Ogle them as much as you like, but do not touch. Many are very delicate and have yet to be fully studied. You are perhaps interested in joining. Unlike the other guilds, we're small and narrowly specialized. This means all members must be bright, dedicated, and have archaeological experience. You wouldn't happen to be experienced with ancient elven history, would you? Alien research is a staple, and Sova's been nagging me to recruit an apprentice for her. Do you know any ancient languages? Or perhaps you have experience in cartography, geology, or gemology? Well then, I'm afraid we don't just have a position open for a complete greenhorn. So you're good in combat, you say? Well, come to think of it, I may just have some use for you after all. Now it wouldn't be a full-time position, just one task, but who knows what may come. Are you interested? Congratulations! You are now a temporary guild member. You'll be referred to as Tyro. Before I give you your first assignment, I should like to fill you in on the Archaeology Guild's history. And of course, you must get properly acquainted with the entire guild. Here, take this archaeologist's robe. It's a customary gift for new recruits. Yes, no one has ever been recruited to the guild as muscle. I'll need to consult Ryther when he gets back from his expedition as to your official status. Originally, this institution was founded by Wymir Solan to aid him in his elite research. Tragically, however, Solan was killed in a tunnel collapse while excavating one such ruin. After that, Cal Reither, Solan's most trusted apprentice, was elected headmaster, and he remains so to this day. Reither is the current headmaster of the guild. Like his mentor, he pursues his work zealously. In fact, he's currently away on an expedition. Solan was an amazing scholar and a most patient mentor. And even though he died nearly a decade ago, we'll never forget his selfless dedication to this scholarly craft. May his spirit live on in you. Yes. Firstly, there's Aster. He's the guild cartographer and geologist. Then you should speak to Verus. He's a classical scholar. He researches ancient languages. Norlin is the deity specialist. Sovar is an elite historian. She's actually following up on Solan's research from years ago. Those are the four I'd like you to meet. But there's also Tumir, a paleontologist, and Reither, the head leader, who are out on expedition. And of course, where would we be without our trusty assistants? Feel free to acquaint yourself with them as well. Gain rank and favor, and you shall be rewarded well. As you can see, we have many rare artifacts to offer. For tasks well done, you will receive display case keys. Also, periodically, as you gain our trust, you will gain access to our display stands. Additionally, you can purchase replica posters from many guild members. The higher your rank, the better the selection. Everything ours can be yours. That's all then.
Hello there. Congratulations. I am Astasay, resident cartographer. I also dabble in geology. And what might your line of expertise be? Adventurer, are you here then to help us clear the spire? Of course. Also, I'd suggest taking a look around the guild hall, get a better sense of your new surroundings. Actually, it's not so much a hall as it is an abandoned castle. Solan found it years ago when we were just starting the guild. Feel free to peruse some of our great relics in the lobby. We've also got a well-stocked library, and upstairs we have the members' quarters. The assistants' quarters are just through this door in front of me here. That's where all our assistants bunk up. Before we moved in here, this castle was in such disrepair that no one wanted to inhabit it. The land around here is in constant uplift. Half the castle is already buried and deformed, which isn't a conspicuous fact. But this uplift is slow, so I don't see us having to move out anytime soon. In fact, I've grown quite accustomed to the place. Such an eccentric structure has a way of growing on me. Just last week, we discovered a mysterious black spire in the West Weald. Truly a remarkable find. This spire is encrusted with oddly glowing glyphs. These markings are unlike anything I've ever encountered, and I've been through my fair share. Anyway, the excavation is ongoing, but we've run into a few snags. No, wait, I don't want to steal Teve's thunder. I better leave the full briefing to him. The Coquerie. Quite a sight, isn't it? Rytha discovered this fabled wreck in Topal Bay. According to legend, the Coquerie was a trade galleon ferrying a large shipment of imperial bullion from elsewhere when it was raided by corsairs. They ran it aground in the shallows of Topal Bay. Before it could reach the imperial city, they looted all the bullion.
May I direct you somewhere, or did you come to see me? Ah, fresh blood. Good to see you.
I'm Norleen. Tamrielic deity research is my forte.
How about you? Shh, don't tell that to Sova. She's been hounding Teve for an Aliad expert. Me, however, I'm glad you're here. There have been plenty of occasions where I could have used a knight in shining armor.
Which one would you like?
Well, at the moment, I've paused my own work to help out at the Spire, but I was studying Tamrielic deities before that. In particular, I'm trying to track down the disappearance of the goddess Lumini. A while back now, when I was helping Sova sort through Solon's old papers, I ran into transcripts of these strange Aliad votive tablets. The Aliads offered prayers in honor of a goddess called Lumini, but there's no record of this deity's existence. We know nothing of Lumini save her name. Was she benevolent? Was she powerful? Did she even exist? Lumini may yet exist. Her shrine could be long lost somewhere, awaiting discovery. On the other hand, it could all be myth.
Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. I'm pretty busy helping the other elders though, so I can't make any promises.
Don't tell him I told you so, but Rytha really isn't the best member to work for. Everybody here looks up to him, because his decisions always cut to the very bone of the problem. But the real issue for me is that Rytha's like that all the time. 2 years I've worked for him now, but right from the start I felt he instantly knew my weaknesses. His is a cold intelligence that mirrors that of the Aliads themselves. As such, the Guild has long considered him as their greatest hope of establishing the Guild and in gaining new funding from the Imperial Council. I know he doesn't mean to spook me, But what gets me is that whenever I ask for a transfer, I just get laughed at by the other members. It's the little things about him, you see, like always knowing the exact time, even when indoors without a clock in the room. Or the way that you can just sense him near, without using your eyes and ears, then for him suddenly to be standing there, silent, resolute and impassive.
Owen sick again. Just leave it at the door. And payments on the crate. Leave what? The booze? Wait, who are you? Oh, you're a new member. Good to see you. It's been a while since we've had a fresh face around here. I'm Domitian Wells, classical scholar. Most of the time I'm in here reading, drinking. But ever since we found that spire, I've had my work cut out. But tell me, where does your experience lie? I guess I got through to Steve after all. Either that or you left some impression. I've been telling Steve to hire some muscle, but he was hesitant. You see, everyone's swamped with research, so you're just what we needed. Steve hasn't told you yet, has he? We've just discovered something unique. A ruin structure entirely foreign to Tamriel. It's neither Iliad nor Daedric, and that's got me all excited. You might have noticed some of the ruin fragments we've extracted on your way in. Those are just the first I've been able to bring here. There's much more at the Spire site.
What do you want now? I'm busy at the moment, stranger. So you're the new hire? You do have Iliad history experience. What aspects of archaeology are you versed in, then? An adventurer? This isn't the Fighters Guild. We do serious research here. I specifically told Teve to hire someone who could help me with my work. I guess Virus and Say must have outswayed me. I'm sure Teve mentioned that this guild was originally founded for Iliad research. But Solon's death brought with it a great setback to our research, since he was its primary receptacle. While the others have expanded into other domains, I've focused on taking back up Solon's search. I'm just now starting. During his time, Solon had excavated many Iliad ruins, but in particular he was obsessed with the legend of Aeon IV. Only fragments of the legend remain, but supposedly there was once a great Iliad king, Aeon IV, who led his people to suppress a great evil. Aeon was deified in Iliad history and lain to rest in an elaborate labyrinth beneath his citadel. Or so the story goes. Now, it was Solon's intent to prove the myth true by finding this labyrinth. To this he devoted his life, and this guild remains a testament to his resolve. I don't intend to let him down. I'm sorry. I just got so caught up. I'm Sova. Nice to meet you. Listen, sorry about my harping. You're just not what I expected. I'll get over it, though. Besides, I suppose Virus and Say have their point. Your talents will come in handy, especially now.
Have you acquainted yourself with the others? Good. Now you're ready for your first assignment. Just a week ago, we've discovered a new, never-before-seen type of ruin. We call it The spire. No one's sure to whom it belonged, but it's certainly not Iliad, not Adric, as far as we can tell. One thing's certain though, it is ancient. Excavation work has already begun on the spire itself, but there's also an elaborate cave system beneath it that we like to excavate. Below the spire lies an enormous subterranean antechamber, much of which has caved in. There's a way around to the other side, but we've heard strange noises coming from deeper in the cave. As is, it's too dangerous for us to excavate down there. I need you to clear out a passage so that we can get through to possibly other chambers. Be sure to take along a sturdy weapon and be careful not to damage any artifacts. Good luck. You're back. Were you able to clear out the ruin? What's this? You found this in the ruins? So there was a second chamber, after all. Let me take a look at that. Very peculiar. The outer matrix here is no ordinary igneous rock. It's certainly not sedimentary. Judging by its density and structure, I'd say this has to be a meteorite. But this inner matrix is really spectacular. Look how it glows. I've seen my fair share of meteorites, but nothing like this. It appears as though the glowing inner matrix is firmly encased in this otherwise ordinary meteorite. And look here. I can make out a marking on the inner material. There's so much grime, it's hardly visible. If we could clean it off, we'd get a better look. It's definitely a deposit of some sort, perhaps a fusion crust. Whatever it is, it's stuck on there good. I know what will do the trick. To miss dissolving agent. It's Tumir, our resident paleontologist, developed a special dissolving agent to help his fossil excavation. He had a similar problem with stubborn mineral deposits. They completely enveloped his fossil. I want you to go see Tumir and bring me back a vial of his dissolving agent. Here, I'll mark his excavation site on your map. And hurry back. I'd like to get to the bottom of this. Distinguishing meteorites from earthly rocks isn't difficult. The telltale signs of high density. Also notice the well-defined fusion crust. It's a surface melt resulting from high velocity entry into the atmosphere.
Hello, and who might you be? Really? So nice to meet you. I'm Tumir, resident paleontologist. What brings you out here? I'm afraid I have run dry at the moment. I used the last of it this morning on the Ampeaks. But it's easily made, assuming you've got the slime, of course. We gathered the 5 green-stain cup caps. Excellent. I'll just take those from you. Now, just give me a second to mix this together. And here you go, your vial of dissolving agent. If you need more, I'm happy to oblige. This dissolving agent is surprisingly versatile. I'm sure you'll find it handy in one or... If you ever need more, just...
You have the dissolving agent. Give it here. Perfect. Now I'll need some time to run the experiment. I have to be careful not to damage the inner matrix. In the meantime, I've got some good news for you. Ryther, our headmaster, has returned from his expedition. I've already put in a good word for you, but he'd like to meet you in person. You can find him in the library. It's right around the corner to your right there. This dissolving agent you brought me is powerful stuff. It'll strip the outer meteoric matrix off, given enough time. But I've got to be careful. Done hastily, the dissolving agent could damage the inner matrix as well.
Yes. Greetings. You must be the new recruit I've heard so much about. I am Cal Ryther, Archaeology Guild Headmaster. Teve tells me you've done a fine job clearing out that spire. So, let's discuss that temporary membership. With all this recent activity, everyone's been swamped. Clearly we're lacking manpower, especially of your sort. I'm making you the Guild's official enforcer. You are now a permanent member, responsible for clearing any hurdles we may run into. Congratulations. Actually, I already have something I need your assistance with. A hurdle of sorts. The expedition I just returned from, well, it led me to another spire, similar to the one you cleared. There's more than just one. Problem is, this particular spire was overgrown with thick vines. As hard as I tried, there was just no way of getting in. The entrance is completely blocked, but there's a nearby mine that burrows deep into the mountain on which this spire stands. If we could convince the miners to tunnel deeper towards the spire, I'm sure we'll have a way through. This is where you come in. I need you to speak to the mine foreman down there. Help him to see our cause. You must convince him to dig that tunnel. In the meantime, I'm going to lead an excavation effort at the spire you just cleared. Whatever you're doing with Teve can wait. Convincing that mine foreman shouldn't take you long, so when you're done, you can get back to Teve. Here, I'll mark Bloodvein Mine on your map. I'll also mark the overgrown spire. Have a look at the spire if you like, but don't bother trying to find a way in. I've already wasted enough time doing that. Godspeed.
Aye, what can I do for you? You don't look like you're from the mining office. What do you want? And? You what? I've got other things to worry about now, beat it. Important? Who do you think you're talking to? Now you listen! In case you haven't noticed, I've got a full-blown crisis on my hands. I've missed me second shipment, 2 of my best guys are missing, another's bleeding from the neck, and you come to me with this! Now scram! Before I get really mad! Yeah, Styx and Darius were abducted by vampires. For all I know, they're probably dead. Or worse, one of them. Everything was going great till the middle of last week. We'd just struck a rich gold vein and our shipments were phenomenal. But I got too greedy. I should have never told the men to tunnel further. The following night, they broke into something alright. But it wasn't another gold vein. Some sort of ancient lair instead. I sent one of the miners for help to the mining office. He should certainly have returned by now, if nothing happened to him. Call it what you will, but it was full of vampires. Styx was the first to go in, but hours passed and he never came back, so I sent Darius in after him. Then the rest of the men, and I hear Darius running back, screaming for his life. Vampires were all over him. We fought a few of them back with what we had, but Tolonia was bitten, and the vampires got hold of Darius. Ever since, we've been terrified. Well, we barricaded the tunnel as best we could, but now my men are just too demoralised to work. We've been missing our shipments, and no one dares look for Styx or Darius. Now you look here, until I see all those vampires' heads on that there spike. I'm not even going to entertain your gobbledygook scheme. That? Oh, that's Squeaky. She's a fruit bat. I found her while working in a mine in the marsh. But that was ages ago, when I first started. She's the closest thing to solace in these godforsaken hellholes. An ideal miner's companion, you might say. Sorry, Squiggy's not for sale. You're right. What? You've killed the vampires? What? All of them? Let me see your neck. You look safe. Show some respect, for God's sakes. Those were 2 of my best. But at least they died human. Anyways, thanks. You have done far more than I expected. He'll be fine. We'll get him to the nearest chapel tonight. Now, I believe I owe you a favour, madam. Alright. I suppose we owe you that much, at least. After we heal up, I'll get the men working on it. Check back in a week or so. It'll take us that long, at least. Better yet, I'll send word to the Archaeology Guild when it's complete, alright? See ya.
Yeah. I'm glad you've got me. I had just about given up waiting for you, and was setting off to catch up with Ryther. He's already at the spire. Looks like you were able to convince those miners, huh? Great. Then that's that. But listen, the reason I stayed behind was to tell you the results of the experiment. I thought you'd want to know. I completed it, a bit hastily, but it'll do, for now. That dissolving agent ate away virtually all of the outer matrix to reveal a brilliant shard. The inscribed glyph I was telling you about is now clearly visible. Here, I transcribed it for you on this parchment. This glyph is peculiar. I've never seen anything like it. I'm already late, so here's what I need you to do. Take this parchment to Domitian Verus and see if he can identify this glyph. Try to make sense of it by the time I get back. I'll hang on to the shard for now. I can clean it up some more.
Hello there. Enforcer, I'm glad you're here. I just opened this keg of mead. I brewed it myself. Here, take a tankard. Wait, don't drink it yet. We need a toast. Let's see. You know, looking at you reminds me of a story. Me? Why no? Just killing the tedium. What is it you wanted? What's that? Let me see it closer. Now this is intriguing. No, I've never seen anything like it. Although, stylistically, it's similar to these glyphs I've been studying from the spire. Ever since we found that spire ruin, I've been captivated by its luminescent glyphs. I started cataloging them. 23 glyphs I've cataloged so far, but their meaning still has me baffled. I'm no closer to deciphering them now than when I started. No thanks to Rathma. Don't get me started on him. He runs a bookstore in Bravil, Rathma's Books. He recently acquired a unique book. Its title is written in ancient Iliad, translating roughly as Runes of Cyrodiil. He got me all excited about buying it, but then he say it's not for sale. At least not to me, or for such a low price. That shyster want top price, so he's going to auction it off to some wealthy collectors. That book contains transcripts of many long-lost runes and glyphs. It may even mention this glyph you show me here. Anyways, after pleading with Rathber to sell me the book, the best I could do was convince him to sell me a copy. It's been a few weeks now, and I haven't heard from him. Simply put, this book is crucial to my research. It could unravel not only our current dead end, but many others before it. How about doing me a favor? Check up on Rathmer for me. See if... Here, take this cash. You'll need it. Rathmer's store is located in Bravil.
Welcome, welcome. Do you see anything you like? I see. Then you've come for the book.
Oh, everybody's impatient. I'll tell you what I told the others. The transcript is not yet ready. Come back later. You're not the first to come by here. I have several interested buyers for this exquisite tome. And, well, quite frankly, Varus's offer doesn't even come close to top bid. Luckily for him, he's interested in the subject matter more than the book itself, so he settled for a transcript. This, however, has made the collectors somewhat impatient, as they wanted me to auction it immediately. I'm starting to regret not having done so, as I'm being hounded by everyone. Tell Varus to be patient. I can't sell it to him until Miro completes the copy. Ria Miro, that is. She's a professional scribe. I gave her the runes of Cyrodiil to transcribe. Now that you mention it, she did say it would only take a few days to complete the work. If you truly want to speed things along, go see Miro in Leowyn. Ask her what's taking so long, then return to me. Details about my customers are strictly confidential. Needless to say, a book of this rarity attracts attention. Good day to you, Mom.
Stop right there, citizen. You've entered a restricted area. It was the middle of the night when we first received reports of smoke coming from this direction. The guards were quickly mobilized, but by the time we arrived, Miro's office was in full blaze. I am under strict orders not to let anyone in until a full investigation is concluded. I understand your curiosity, but I'm under strict orders. I understand your curiosity, but I'm under strict orders. I'm not supposed to, but alright, make it quick. Take care.
Why the glum face? Arson? But who? Who would... That damned book! Some of the collectors were impatient, but this is downright desperation. Thank you for returning to tell me this. I will handle Miro's affairs and alert the authorities. I'd best get going. Good day to you, Mom.
Greetings. Did you obtain the transcript? The scribe's office was burned down? Unscrupulous collectors have always made life difficult for us, but this is beyond the pale. Were you able to find any clues as to who this arsonist might be? In a pile of burning rubble? Hand it here. This is certainly the transcript of runes of Cyrodiil, but it's badly burned. I think I can still make something of it. Let's see if our mysterious glyph is referenced anywhere in here. I can't find any mention of it. However, look at this curious reference. Look, one of the glyphs in this book is identical to a spire glyph I've catalogued. These numerals here must be the coordinates of where the glyph was witnessed. They warrant further exploration. Go speak to Aster Se. Work with him to track down this location. In the meantime, I will scour the transcript for further leads. With some time and luck, I might make sense of this ancient language.
Huh? How are you, Enforcer? Did you hear of Teve's news from the Spire?
By the way, he told me of that brilliant shard you found. Were you able to make anything of it?
Sure, I'd be glad to help.
And you say Varus got these coordinates out of an alien source?
I have just the thing to make sense of them. Here, this alien map of Cyrodiil was something Solan and I worked on years ago. Each sector on this map is indexed with 2 sets of numerals, like the ones Varus gave you. Allow me to translate this waypoint to your map, and then you'll be all set. This map is not actually Iliad. Solan and I drafted it up a while back. When Solan was exploring the Iliad ruins, he deciphered the Iliad's mapping conventions. The Iliad had divided the topology of Cyrodiil into many sectors. Each sector was then referenced by a set of numerals, like you have here. This map was integral to Solan's work. Before we drafted it, finding an Iliad ruin was purely a matter of luck. Teve sends word that he found a stash of artifacts at the newfound spire, the very one you cleared out. He says he found an ancient weapon and a scroll rod. I can't wait until he gets back. I want to get a look at that ancient weapon. Oh, that waypoint is in the vicinity of the Nibene Basin. You should go there and scope it out. It could be another spire. Watch your back.
You Hrabson started to worry me. You visited those coordinates? Another one. I knew it. And it's covered in those glowing glyphs? Excellent find. Give me that waypoint. I've got to get a closer look at these glyphs. What's this? Ah, an Iliad scroll. You see, this writing here is Iliad. Quite recognizable. Solan and Sovar have found several of these throughout the years. I can read bits of it, but it makes no sense. Like this line, a pure heart illuminates the entangled eye. I'm sure I'm reading it correctly, but it sounds like a metaphor or an allusion. Take it to Sovar. She'll make more sense of it than I ever could.
Did you already hear about Teve? No. Teve's dead. And not just him. His assistants, too. Just following news of Teve's discovery, a group of bandits broke into the excavation site and killed everyone there. Only one assistant survived. They looted all their supplies, money, and the artifacts. When Rythor arrived at the site, he found Teve, Assistant Cyrnus, and Assistant Seru dead. Only Assistant Mojin survived. It's heartbreaking. Teve was a great man. He never harmed anyone. You're right. We have to focus on the positive. We will persevere, just as we did after Solan. You came here for some other reason, though. What is it? Where did you get this? You know this is an Iliad scroll? I have translated several others like it, but they're notoriously figurative. A pure heart illuminates the entangled eye. Some time with this. I'm sure I can crack it, but it won't happen overnight. While I start working on this, go speak with Norleen. She has some business for you concerning Teve. I'm just as puzzled by this phrase as you are. I'll try digging into Solon's records. Perhaps he'd run across it before. Ayleid scrolls are very distinctive. You can tell immediately if you have one. Now, the real trick is making sense of them. Solon was great at it, though. That was partially the reason for his great progress. A ceremony will be held for Teve tonight at 11 o'clock. We have set up a pyre just outside the guild hall. Please join us in his remembrance tonight. When the time comes, speak to one of us, and we will begin the ceremony. To be safe, why don't you wait until 11 o'clock now? Ah, I'm glad you reminded me. With Teve gone, we're going to need your help all the more. I'm promoting you to aspirant. Your responsibilities have grown beyond just mere enforcement.
Hello, Aspirant. I need your help. You already know of Teve's death, but this matter doesn't end there. This incident with Teve cannot go unexamined. I've been delegated to pursue an official investigation into his death. The guild's put up with our share of looters, grave robbers, and unscrupulous collectors long enough. This time they've gone too far. Stealing artifacts is one thing, and we've put up with it despite the setbacks it's cost us, but attacking our members cannot be tolerated. We must pursue the responsible entities at all costs. I have my suspicions. Those bandits that killed Teve, what are the chances they stumbled onto that excavation site by accident? Before Teve was killed, he sent us news of a great discovery at the spire. He had found an ancient weapon and a scroll. If this news leaked to some treacherous collector, those bandits could have been hired to raid the spire. I've recently overheard that Roden Dakan, a wealthy collector residing in Shaden Hall, has acquired a new sword specimen. I'd like you to investigate this matter. Ascertain whether Dakan's new sword was acquired from the spire. If not, double-check anyway. And if so, well, I don't think I need to tell you how to deal with Dakan. I still haven't come to grips with it. It feels surreal. A dream at times, but then I realize it's not.
Hey, how did you get in here? This is a private estate! Leave! Immediately!
Or else what? You can't do anything to me! Who are you, a thug? You want money? Here, take it, just don't hurt me! I don't know what murder you're referring to. I had nothing to do with any murders. I'm just a businessman. That's what you're after? It's over there, on the table. Look, I paid a lot of money, but I didn't kill anyone for it. Have a look at it, if you wish.
What can you tell from it?
That information is confidential. I don't have to tell you. Alright, like I said before, I bought it. His name was Dwiff. He was a well-built Nord. He and his pals led me down to their bandit lair near Breville and showed me a sack of loot. Well, most of it was junk, but then I saw that sword. Look, I don't ask where they get their merchandise. I can't concern myself with the source of everything I buy. I admit it sounds suspicious, but I swear I had nothing to do with your friend's murder. I'm a businessman, not a criminal. Here, I still remember the location of their lair. I'll mark it on your map. If you want vengeance, take it out on them, not me. No, please, I beg you! I didn't kill your friend, those bandits did!
Good to see you. What news of your investigation? You found the murderers and dealt with them? This is good news indeed. Steve was a kind, peaceful man, deserving at least as much. We have done all we can for him now. And for this good work, I am promoting you to disciple. Your skills are coming along nicely. The weapon and scroll Steve mentioned? Both? Excellent! These artifacts are sure to build upon Varys' findings. I'd like to see that scroll, please. As for the weapon, you hold on to it for now. I'll study it after I'm done with this scroll. I'm sure you'll find it handy in the meantime. The Warlock scroll contains a map of Cyrodiil. Very crude. I count 16 landmarks, but one is circled in fresh ink. Teve's handiwork for sure. Although, I don't see why Teve assumed this would interest me in particular. You should explore this circled waypoint. Teve obviously thought it held importance. Otherwise he wouldn't have marked it. Here, I'll copy it over to your map. I want you to find out what's there, then get back to me. Varys is making slow but steady progress deciphering the spire glyphs. That transcript you brought him has helped a great deal. At least now we know who we're dealing with. This morning, Varys' translation revealed one of our first insights into the spire's architects. The spires belong to a mysterious sect of beings known as the Warlocks. The Iliad refer to them as warlock demons, half man, half beast. The warlocks practiced occult magic. Apparently the Iliads didn't approve. A vilification at the hands of Iliad writers? Maybe. Regardless, it's certain that the Iliads didn't much tolerate these warlocks. That's all we know so far. Not much, admittedly, but this scroll may provide more answers. In his correspondence from the Spire, Teve wrote of unearthing a scroll that would interest me particularly. He didn't mention anything more. This must be the scroll, but I don't know why it would interest me above any of the others. What did he know that we don't? What am I missing? You're back. How did things go? You don't suppose. Let me see that Steely. Incredible. You found the lost shrine of Lumini. Remember when we first met? I told you about Ayleid votive tablets I found dedicated to a goddess called Lumini. Those tablets dated back to the First Era, and except for them, we had no other references to Lumini, until now. Many years I've searched for evidence of a Lumini shrine, but I was never even sure it existed. And now, we have conclusive proof. Truly remarkable, excellent work, disciple. That doesn't surprise me. In fact, that's probably why Lumini is referenced so rarely by the Ayleids. Other shrines like that of any Daedra are centuries old, and evidence shows people congregating around them throughout history. Lumini would have been no different had her spirit continued inhabiting that statue. My guess is her spirit vanished, turning a once thriving shrine into a mere monument. Imagine how her worshippers felt. With Lumini gone, they lost faith, or turned to Daedra. Give me a moment to translate this. A memorial stele to Lumini, placed next to the shrine by the Ayleids after Lumini's disappearance. A tombstone, if you will. It says here, Lumini, celestial light extinguished by twisted evil. I'm not sure what to make of it. This topic warrants far more study than I'm able to give it here. You've cleared a path to the shrine, right? Good. Then I shall go there to study it in detail. In the meantime, you should speak to Sova. She's been looking for you. Your rapid progress continues to amaze me. This latest discovery certainly warrants a promotion. You are hereby granted the title Fellow. Congratulations.
This is the Fellow. I've been looking for you. I finally deciphered that Ayleid scroll you brought me. If you'll recall, it said, "A pure heart illuminates the entangled eye." After rummaging through years of Solon's research, I was able to make sense of it. There is an Ayleid legend that speaks of a subterranean labyrinth built to protect the mausoleum of a great Ayleid king, Aeon IV. This is the very legend that fueled Solon's excavations. If it is true, the phrase, "entangled eye," must reference exactly this. Entangled alludes to the labyrinth, while eye alludes to its geographical location. Ayleids attached great importance to the geography of Tamriel. The eye is an ancient label for the island on which now stands the imperial city. If the eye of Tamriel is the imperial city, then that's where the labyrinth must have once stood. The imperial city could well have been built on its ruins, which still remain, buried deep underneath. If the labyrinth exists, it must sit below the current imperial city. We can't excavate there, unfortunately. The only hope of accessing the labyrinth is through the imperial city's vast sewer system. But where to start? Try the Imperial Elven Gardens District first. Find a sewage hatch in the Gardens District and search it through thoroughly. The labyrinth entrance may no longer exist, but even a single clue of its remains would be worth the effort. What do you want? You've searched the Elven Gardens District sewers? The labyrinth? And Aeon's mausoleum too? Unbelievable! It sounds too good to be true. Then Solon was on the right track all along. In a single day, all those years of research are vindicated. Excellent work, fellow. Let's have a closer look at this stele. This tablet commemorates a great battle. Here's Aeon 4, leading his army into battle. And this looks like an etched map in the background here. Aeon leads the Templars of Lumini to expunge an evil, a twisted evil, as it says. A great victory was won that day against the twisted evil, if we're to believe this stele. We've run across this phrase before, in connection with Norleen's lost deity, Lumini. Solan's research notes also mention it, but what exactly it means, he could never say. I can't make sense of the depicted map here, but I'm sure it corresponds to actual geography. We must track down the location of this battle. A scavenged artifact or two may reveal the identity of Aeon's adversaries. This shall be your task. Consult Aster Say. He will help you identify these geographical features. Show him the stele. Here.
How can I help you today?
Let me get a closer look at that.
Yes, you see, here looks like the Panther River. One second, where did I place that Nibonay Valley map?
Here it is.
Yeah, like I said, this is the Panther River right here. It's in the Nibonay Valley region. You know, if that's the case, the area you're looking for should be just at the start of the Panther River's last inlet. Here, I'll mark it on your map.
Was your trip successful? Another one? Then the warlocks are the so-called twisted evil. Of course. That stands to reason. The Ayleid were devout worshippers of Lumini, right? But suppose one day she disappears, and they blame the warlocks. Then a full-blown war ensues, leading to the eventual eradication of the warlock sect. Great work, fellow! Your pace is astounding. The picture's finally starting to emerge, but that just means more work. With time and more research, we will fill in the details. For your great initiative, I am promoting you to expert. Congratulations. By the way, Rythor asked to speak with you. He said it was urgent. Something about a tunnel?
You got some? I've been looking all over for you. You certainly keep yourself busy. An expert already, eh? Good. Listen here, what's the word on that mining tunnel? Has it been completed? You still haven't gotten word? They did promise to dig it, didn't they? You better get over there. Apply pressure if need be, but get that tunnel completed. And listen, this part's important. When it's done, don't be a hero. It could be dangerous in there, so I don't want you going in alone. I want you back in one piece. Then we'll arrange an excavation party. After losing Teve, I don't want to take any chances. Now go! Very well. What's going on at the mine? Is the tunnel complete? Dead? Creatures from inside the ruin, you say? This is unfortunate indeed.
You don't listen very well, do you? I specifically told you not to explore that ruin alone!
Keep it up! One day this foolish impetuousness will get you killed. Never mind that now. Let me see that sword. You don't intend on actually using a weapon like this. It must be thousands of years old. This is an important find, perhaps the most important you've made thus far. You understand this weapon must be studied. Who knows what secrets it may hold? Once I'm done studying the horn, you can have it back. Like what? Wait. How about this? My pendant. I'm sure you'll find it more than a fair substitute. And you take this. Thank you. This truly is a remarkable piece. I'm going to take this to a weapons specialist I know in Carl. He'll be able to make more sense of it than I can. I'll be back later. You? Oh. You've got to give me some time with this sword. Aster Say's been asking for you. Why don't you help him out? Yes, your fine work certainly warrants promotion. I hereby grant you the title Mentor. May your passion inspire greatness in your fellow guild members. Congratulations.
Hello, Mentor. How may I assist you?
No, I didn't. But seeing as you're here already, maybe you could help with this map I've been working on. I've been mapping out all the spire locations we've found so far. I'm trying to spot a pattern. The newfound spire was in the West Weald. That's the one we found before you joined up. Then Ryther found the overgrown spire, and you found the pristine and the besieged spires. All three are in the Nibonay Valley. That's 4 spires. I've plotted them out on the overhead map, but I don't see any pattern emerging. Do you? I was hoping there might be a pattern, but I think you're right. At least it looks that way for now. What's that you've got there? Those jewels gleam like the eyes of Azura. Ryther gave you this? This is curious indeed. Let me take a closer look. Did you ask him where he got it? Did you notice this pendant's outline? It looks just like Cyrodiil. Its borders, I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jewels. And look, these 4 line up perfectly with the 4 spire locations we found. This pendant is a map. These jewels mark the location of each spire. You know what this means. The 5th jewel must of course represent the 5th spire. Now if that's right, the 5th spire is way out north, beyond the Great Forest, somewhere in the Gerald Mountains. Here, I'll chart this on both our maps. I'm gonna go and ask Ryther where he got this pendant. In the meantime, you track down to the 5th spire. I need you to confirm for me that it's actually there. Beware, though, when traveling in those parts. Here. The Gerald Mountains are a dangerous territory. Lots of steep slopes and loose rock, and only an acrobatics expert fights well there. Just watch your step. Bye. Have you seen Ryther? I can't find him anywhere. Where did you... Give that here. Ryther! By the fist of Talos! What were you thinking? Did you read this? Then you know what must be done. Stop Ryther at all cost, if it's not too late. Ryther must have a place planned out where he will spawn the Avatar. Quickly, take this key to his office. You've got to search it for any clues to his current whereabouts. I'll go alert the others.
You're back.
What happened? Good! Very good! You now have the horn. You must safeguard it from any others like Ryther. Never let it out of your sight, lest the Avatar is set loose. Ryther's death averted certain disaster. We will never forget that we have you to thank for this. Without your appearance, our guild and all of Tamriel could have been lost. As good as it feels to finally see justice prevail, Ryther's betrayal has devastated the guild. However, this end marks a new beginning for us. It's a chance to start anew, to build on a clean foundation. We have conferred amongst ourselves and decided to offer you the title of Headmaster. Do you accept? Excellent! You are hereby Headmaster of the Archaeology Guild. Ryther's ruinous chapter is closed. Let us look to new horizons now. Let us continue in the tradition of Solan.